Hi! In other tutorials we have seen how to navigate in the BIMPulse dashboard, how to launch and to use the BIMPulse toolbar. So now we're going to create a campaign of real-time marketing customization. Once clicking here, you can visualize all the campaigns on your website, whether stopped or in progress. Let's create a brand new campaign. The first step is to give it a name. Let's go for Demo Audrey. We advise you to fill the name as well as the description so that you can easily find what it is about. Imagine if you and your colleagues create lots of campaigns, it will be easier to find it if you describe it. Here I will go for anti-abandon pop-up. I just click on Next. The second step is to create a segment or using an already existing segment. By default, BIMPulse includes more than 50 criteria which you can combine with your own data. Here are the conditions that are available on data right here. So here, for example, I could say that I want to target people coming in this URL page, which is actually my home page. I can also add another condition, which could be, for instance, people who are actually returning visitors. Okay, so you can add any condition that you want, add your own data here, and play here with the and or condition if you want. So here I have created one segment, which means that the action that we are going to set up in the following step will be applied only for this specific segment. So I just click on Next and go on with step number 3, where I can choose an action to stimulate my segment. Here I see two main possibilities. Either use the page variations editor, driving you directly on your web page to create your variations. We will go through this function in another tutorial. For this example, for this tutorial, we'll continue our example of creating an anti-abandon pop-up. This is part of the real-time customizations actions. Here you can edit the content. Just click on it. You can add a video, an image, a link, your own code. You can play with the font size and so on, so anything you want. I will go straight to the point with this current example, and I will not make a very beautiful anti-abandon pop-up. But let's say I say, already living. Let's talk about your project first. You can imagine, of course, anything you want. Okay, and I could add a link, for instance, ps.bimpulse.com contact. You can open it in a new tab. Okay, this is a link right now. Of course, I can play with that, with the color, anything that you want. Okay, I can play with the width, don't know, here like that, or the height, background color, CSS style, and so on. Okay, as I said before, I will not make a very beautiful pop-up. Let's say I'm happy with that. I can just click here to preview it. An anti-abandon pop-up generates automatically as soon as the mouse goes on the top of the window, which could mean that your visitor may leave your website. So here I have my mouse here. I go on the top and here I am with my link. You could add a chat, anything you want. Okay, so this was my preview. Let's say I'm happy with that. Just remind that you can also run this action for a limited or unlimited times per visit and per visitor. And you can also, of course, put this action with other actions in the multi-actions composer. So let's say I'm happy with my anti-abandon pop-up. I go for Next. And here we are on step number 4, where I can choose a goal to A/B testing performance. Here. If you want to set up an A/B test campaign, 50% of your segment will see this pop-up. The first, you should define a goal so that you can have performance results, whether it is variation A or B, which is the best. So for example, a goal here can be a numeric value on the page, such as a cart amount, the fulfillment of a form, or also the fact that a visitor has seen one specific page or content could also be big goals. So here you just have to set up what you want to reach. Here in my example, I do not set up an A/B test. No A/B test, which means that all my segment will be submitted to my anti-abandon pop-up. Okay, I go for next. Here is the last step, which is the campaign duration. This is important, for example, for a limited sale action. Let's say you define when. You have a start and a stop date. This is also important if your call to action is to phone or to chat with a customer service, as they may not work on Sundays or even at night. So here you can set up anything you want and limited my anti-abandon pop-up in a time. Let's go for save. Here my campaign is now saved, but do not forget to launch it, to start it. Okay, here it is, demo Audrey. I have my little description with the date and an ID here. For the moment the status is stopped. If I go for start, my segment will see it. And all my segment, as I do not have set up any A/B test. If you have set up an A/B test, you should wait to see the performance results. We advise you to stop an A/B test campaign when you have reached the following conditions, which are a good confidence rate, which appears here, having your test running at least for 15 days, that each variation has generated at least 150 conversions, and that the trend of this test is unchanged for the last 7 days. Note that depending on your plan, you may have access to a limited number of campaigns, so do not hesitate to contact us if you have any question. In a coming tutorial, we go through the page editor variations.